Good evening and welcome to Horror Time. This is another episode of Scary Stories to fall asleep to. Before we get into tonight's episode, remember to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. And now, without further ado, tonight's story. My Best Friend's Mom by What's Cookin' Beach from Reddit/True Scary Stories. My friend and I were talking about this earlier today, and it made me want to share it with other scary story lovers. To this day, it remains one of the scariest things that's ever happened to me. For the sake of the story, I'm going to refer to my friend as Lola. This happened 11 years ago, but I didn't tell Lola until 3 years ago. I didn't want her to think I, 33F, was crazy or make her scared of her own house. Lola and I went to culinary school together. She was a year below me, but through mutual friends and working at the same restaurant, we became friends. We got close enough that we started going out in a nearby city and crashing at her house on the weekends. Lola started dating a new guy and wanted to spend the night at his place. So one night, after bar hopping and singing our lungs out at a dueling piano bar, she brought me back to her house to tuck me in before heading out to her new boyfriend's place. She shared a room with her sister, who was home that night. I was very drunk and fell asleep immediately. Everything seemed completely normal at first. In the morning, everyone in the house was getting up for school and work. We didn't have school on Fridays, and I woke up slightly, exchanging a few words with Lola's sister. There were 4 people getting ready and only one full bathroom, so everyone was arguing and rushing to get out the door. It was chaotic and tense, and then suddenly, everything went silent after the front door slammed shut. They had all left together, and the house was quiet. My hangover quickly pulled me back to sleep, and I knocked out again. I groggily woke up in Lola's bed and sat up. The room looked slightly abstract and hazy, with the hangover still holding me in its grip. Then I woke up again, but this time I snapped awake. I was still in Lola's bed, and when I glanced around the room, it looked warped and hazy. I snapped awake again. It felt like I was stuck in a loop, but each time I woke up, my surroundings looked as they should, except slightly off. I snapped awake once more, but this time, I saw Lola's mom standing in the doorway. Something about her was off. The way she stood, the way she stared. Suddenly, she staggered across the room, her face contorting into a grimace. She grabbed onto me, shaking and hitting me while snarling and growling. I tried to fight her off, but I realized I couldn't move my body. I was in sleep paralysis. I knew I was dreaming and fought desperately to wake up and return to my body. As soon as I finally broke free and woke up, I instantly grabbed my bag from the floor, sprinted down the stairs, ran out the front door, and jumped into my car. I didn't even take the time to turn on music or set my GPS. I was in a complete panic, peeling out of there and speeding away. 3 years ago, Lola joined me on a road trip after I decided to move across the country. She had moved out of that house, and her family had sold it, so I finally decided to tell her the story. Her response was, "That makes so much sense. She's a demon." She and her mom hadn't been getting along at the time, so she was only half joking. This wasn't the first time I've had that experience in a dream. Waking up repeatedly in my current surroundings but still in a dream state, stuck in a loop until another person or being appears. But it was the only time it was someone I knew, and the first time one attacked me. Thoughts? Thank you so much for joining us for another episode of Horror Time. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like and subscribing for more videos. Have a great evening, stay safe, and good night.